Heath Hall was a trophy supermansion.
What a pretty room, Trevor.
It's vulgar to quote a price to a billionaire, so we give a guide of 100 million.
The press are going to be thrilled with it. We have got to make sure that you know everything about this house.
A lot of work to be done in here, though.
This property search has been really challenging. It's not that easy to find places that are actually pet-friendly. I'm a little bit concerned about dog going over the edge here.
This property is definitely going to go, so if Andrea decides it's for her, she's really got to get her skates on.
Hi, Trevor.
Hello, Joy. Today, I'm at Heath Hall. I'm meeting our publicist, Joy Moon.
Nice to see you.
In order to discuss the strategy for marketing this property. What do you think?
I think it's fabulous.
There's lots to see, but I'd like to start, if you don't mind, in the dining room.
Certainly every major top-end agent will have a publicist such as myself. It builds up businesses' brand awareness and it sells houses. And I love the stained glass windows. That's original, isn't it?
I think it is. In fact, that whole fireplace is original. Heath Hall was built around the early part of the last century. It was a trophy supermansion. About 8 years ago, my client bought it and lovingly restored it. It has that rich heritage that a newly built house does not have.
So what are you going to ask for it? What are you guiding it at?
We thought a guide of about 100 million, because if you're wealthy and you're a billionaire, you'll have very little choice. There isn't a price on this house because it's vulgar to quote a price to a billionaire who clearly can afford any price. So we give a guide of 100 million. It just gives people a territory from which to sort of bid if you're interested. We're now in the kitchen.
Lovely. Isn't it just a little bit small for the house?
There is a separate catering kitchen for the large banquets and for the domestic staff. With a price territory of circa 100 million, there are very few British purchasers that could buy it. I think it's either going to be the Eastern Bloc or the Indian subcontinent.
What a fabulous place. The press are going to be thrilled with it. Positive press exposure is invaluable to us. It's a third-party endorsement. I personally will be getting hold of a freelance journalist, somebody that we quite know and trust and we know is interested in this sort of property with this sort of history. If we go with the heritage history angle, we have got to make sure that you know everything about this house.
He's an important client to us, so we've got to get it right. And we'll work together to make sure that happens.
This is where the garden starts. Today, I'm meeting Andrea, who happened to walk past our office last week and saw the property in the window. She popped in asking about it, and today I'm here to show her the property. Straight through here is the reception room.
The ceilings are amazing. I love this neighborhood because it's close to where my husband works. It's close to Hyde Park, which is really ideal when you've got 2 big dogs that you need to get tired. We've been renting for our whole time here in London, and we're just ready to kind of have a home of our own.
Amazing proportions, great big windows.
Really nice and bright in here. A lot of work to be done in here, though.
It does definitely need some work. We've got the kitchen.
Oh, my goodness. This needs a lot of work.
I think vision and imagination is the name of the game. Some buyers who have maybe bought their second or third property in London feel comfortable doing refurbishments. First-time buyers normally find it a little bit daunting and tend to go for a turnkey option. Straight across here, we've got the dining room.
It's quite disrepair.
It does need a lot of work.
The garden is huge.
But I think you really have to look at the potential of this garden and the huge, huge value that should be attached to that.
Right in the middle of London.
Andrea tells me she's got 2 dogs, so I'm really, really hoping that this garden will be the deal clincher. And here you go.
Wow, it's really huge. I can't believe how big it is.
The garden itself is about 2,600 square feet, making it bigger than the actual apartment. Nice staircase.
It is. I think I had two equal and opposite reactions to the property. I really loved a lot of aspects, and I was pretty terrified by several others.
There is a ton of space up here. I'm just not sure that I feel comfortable with taking on a project of this size.
It's an absolute one-in-a-million property. To allay her fears, I've suggested that we go out and look at 2 other possible properties so that she gets an idea of what else is out there.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Today, I'm in Heath Hall. I'm going to meet Guy Forrester, the architect. This is such an important task for me, and I don't want to get it wrong.